I have to say I've been very impressed with what Shiba Inu did over the course of the weekend, what it's been doing over the course of October. We actually had a lot of selling in the crypto market yesterday, a lot of people basically dumping into the candle close, but yet despite that, Shiba Inu finished on a green note, very promising sign here. But what the real story is what is going on behind the scenes. We actually had a parabolic surge that everybody needs to be aware of. And I also want to talk about something that an analyst is suggesting is crucial resistance for SHIB. And they are talking about if we can break this, Shiba Inu is paving the way for potentially multiple X's. And we'll discuss all that and more in this video. So if you guys are new or haven't already, show your support for the channel down below. Hit that subscribe button, that bell, it's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So we can see that yesterday was a very, very bizarre candle. We obviously had a lot of green to start the day yesterday. Did not finish that way. If we look at the hourly candles, you guys can see what we dealt with throughout most of Sunday. Selling. And this was the case for pretty much all coins across the crypto space. I obviously talked about this in terms of ADA earlier today. But the thing is SHIB actually finished on a green note. It stopped higher. And what we're setting up now ourselves for is a potentially another green day for Shiba Inu. Guys, Saturday was the only red day for Shiba Inu here in October. Now, that being said, it's October 6th. We're not that far in, but you're sensing a little bit of change in terms of SHIB here, in terms of price performance. I will say that this last week was in fact a green week for Shiba Inu. We closed up 3.62%, and we're really targeting this 20-week moving average, our bull market support band, which we really haven't been able to make a convicted move past. This is kind of aligning with a move past our 100-day moving average here too, which again, we have not really been able to make a convicted move past. Many times that we've blown past this, we've just ended up right back down below it within the days to weeks following that. So SHIB is basically gearing up for a big push here. And it's a question of, is that going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Now, that being said, BTC creating these moves, setting new all-time highs, like it did yesterday, blowing past resistance, stacking green with conviction. That is very promising for the crypto market in altcoins. We need to see more of this. We need institutional buying this week. This is exactly what can take us into that next leg in the crypto market. I will say BTC dominance is hanging around 59%. We'll see if we get a pushback to the downside here. Obviously, we're seeing some red today in terms of BTC dominance, which is great for altcoins because obviously if Bitcoin is strong, alts tend to be strong as well, despite that weird little shakeout that we dealt with yesterday. And Ethereum is making some strong moves here too. So this led us to record closes on the weekly in terms of Bitcoin, in terms of the total three, so altcoins as well. So this is all looking very, very good now, but this is not the big story. The big story that everybody needs to be aware of is this. That right there is a parabolic surge in terms of holders. Now, it's nothing huge from a quantity standpoint. What we actually saw was a 3,600 holder surge over the last 24 hours. That seems kind of small, but it's actually quite large in relation to what we have been seeing. Most days have been, 300, 400 new holders. So that is a big speculative push in terms of SHIB. Now, why is that taking place? Well, probably just the simple fact that SHIB is showing major conviction. It's pushing against these resistance levels. It's breaking against it time and time again. So you're seeing probably speculators flock to SHIB to send us on one of these pushes. But at the same time, just be aware that as we're doing that, we might come up here, hit our head on this longer term trend up at about, 142 or so, and we could immediately get a sell-off following that if that is the case. However, if conviction remains high, if this is people building for the long term, you could actually see us blow through here and try to fight even longer term resistance. And that brings me to this. There is actually an analyst that is suggesting that we need to break 40154, which, as you guys know, that's just below my breakout line here of 40158. But 40154 is about right here. It says that this is what we've been fighting against very heavily. And if we can break past this, this might actually open up the door to 402462, but potentially even multiple X's beyond that. All right. So SHIB has kind of just, again, been in this process of fundamental growth, fundamental strengthening, which it's been doing a good job of. Again, we've seen exchange supply remain really low. We have seen big conviction in terms of whales, which has been a very promising sign here as well. And now all we need is just to basically put it all together. We need retail excitement. We probably need some adoption along the way here too. But that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully this week can yield some really good results for SHIB in the crypto market, but I love how things are coming together. I'm sure you guys do as well. I'm ready for a big move to the upside, and who knows, maybe that's something that we'll get here in the not so distant future. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.